Hey, Danny Mike listeners, before we get to the episode today, I wanted to ask a favor. Our new network, the Last Podcast Network, is doing a survey which will in turn improve the content that you hear. It only takes a minute, it's all confidential, and it's just some questions about your listening habits. You can find the link in our description of this very episode. 2, 3, 4.
The world was so big, and I was so small. Your voice was always the loudest of all.
So, Jeremy, you're looking very, what is the word? Patriotic today?
Oh, am I?
Yeah, on this 4th of the July.
The earlier I went out and I was wearing green army-ish looking pants and a long sleeve St. Vitus shirt.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is more of the militant Jeremy. This isn't the patriotic.
I would have profiled you.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody said anything that I'm not wearing a black t-shirt.
Well, because you preface when you were coming into into this building is, hey, do you like my shirt? And then I said, it has stains on it.
It does, but it's only got a little bit of spackle on it.
And
That's all.
with one
It's a little bit of spackle.
With one cutting comment, Jeremy would never see Danny in a non-black t-shirt.
No. I had to put it on because, it's 4th of July. I need a little red, got a little blue hat on.
I'm the blue.
I almost, I have a really nice Sriracha t-shirt that's just like the front label of the classic Sriracha bottle.
Yeah.
But it's snug. And I didn't want to wear it.
Is it a large or a medium?
It's a medium.
Ooh,
Oh.
pushing.
It's way pushing.
That's
I mean, the large.
Do you want to lend it to me for a while?
I mean, you would fit in it just fine. I didn't want to put it on. I passed looking for my other. I had a Richard Lloyd red shirt, and I was like, that's just bad karma. I don't want that. And I have this, I have this midnight spaghetti red shirt that I was like, okay, I'll wear that one.
You can actually used to be able to buy that at Pearl Paint before it closed. Midnight Spaghetti Red.
But Kate saw the Sriracha one and was like, oh, you should wear the Sriracha shirt. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
I think it's a little tight.
I'm sorry. You let your wife pick out your clothes for you?
No,
Jeremy?
I don't.
Jeremy?
I don't. I wear fucking black tees all the time. I was looking to wear a red one. She was like, "Ooh, you're being fun today. Like, let me. Why don't you want to put it on?
Reverse psychology is working.
Well, maybe it is. Who knows? Well, she said, "Put it on." I said, "I didn't want to put on that shirt because I know it's tight. I know it's tight. It's gonna feel like I'm an actual bottle of Sriracha." And she said, "Just put it on." And I said, no. And then she said, just put it on. And I said, yes. Okay.
This reminds me when Hugo McRobb went as a bottle of Tapatio for Halloween.
God, yes.
Great picture.
Yes. Hugo is way ahead of his time. He is a old soul.
Yes.
In a young bottle of Tapatio.
Yes, he is a young
He was fully dressed in Scottish attire for their visit to Scotland.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Awesome.
Anywho, I put on that shirt and my hypothesis was correct. And I looked like a bottle of Sriracha because it was glued to my my belly and everything else.
Also, he was very shiny.
Yeah.
The whole
It wasn't
time,
that shiny. No, it wasn't. No, I actually only had one day.
Sheen to it.
Only one day, 2 days ago, it was so hot that my air conditioners could not keep up with a 4th floor apartment with all the heat rising. I just couldn't get anything going. It was terrible. Real bad. Anyway, long story short, I grabbed my belly and I squeezed and I felt like Sriracha would have come out in my fucking head because it was so tight.
Did she get a picture of this?
She did not. But I did put on a green Mighty Ducks hat just so I could really live the green top of the Sriracha bottle.
I was gonna say. I wonder if you fed certain people peppers and then milked them. If you could get Sriracha from them. Is that how it'll work in the future? We're gonna genetically engineer goats.
Maybe
everyone's eyes would be burning.
Oh, you heard about that in California? Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Well, in the town where they make Sriracha too,
Ingleside or something.
Is that where they made it?
That's where they make it.
That's where they genetically engineered the people. Yes.
Yeah. And grinded them up into chili sauce. Well,
I can't think of anything more American on this day than stuffing yourself into a A tight it's stuffing meat into a tight package with the
Grilling it
annual
outside.
with the annual, and then sweltering it outside,
steaming it
with the annual Coney Island hot dog eating contest, which
is disgusting.
As I've aged,
Always been disgusting.
As I've
Never been
aged,
fun to watch ever in life.
I've hated it.
It's foul. It's the most foul looking thing you ever see. People dunking fucking bread into water and then stuffing it in your face.
That's fine. That's fine.
That makes me nauseous to look at.
They should have milk. It should be a panade. You should be making like a nice meatball. No, I understand milk on a 90-degree day. Yeah, but they're it's just like
Cody Chestnut does it again.
Yeah, it's this orgy of excess in a time of just like some people who are not doing that well.
Yeah, just people in Coney Island alone that could actually eat those hot dogs instead of watching people shove them in their
Whoa, we just ruined everything. Sorry, Nathans.
It's not that bad though.
Well, the thing is, a couple episodes ago we had this pop in from Little Steven, right?
Yes.
And I feel like it wasn't the most productive episode. It wasn't the most
didn't get the best reactions online.
Reaction episode,
really?
But
that's not true.
I will say,
a lot of engagement. Let's check in the engagement.
It is. It's an honor to have Little Steven here, and he's going to pop in once again for our 4th of July episode. So welcome, Little Steven.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Everybody's good?
We're doing pretty good.
Little Steven, you're sporting a red, white, and blue bandana for the holiday.
That's right. That's right. You know where I got it from? Bruce. Bruce gave it to you. This is the exact same hanky that's hanging out
of his ass
pocket,
right?
Of his world famous record that's
Cruising.
Sold
his
175 million copies worldwide.
Cruising, which was later made into a movie starring Al Pacino. I remember it very well. Little Steven, you seem to have something stuck in your throat. Is there?
That's just how I laugh.
Have you done any barbecuing today yet, or are you going to save that for later?
No, I'm going over to Brucey's house a little later.
Brucey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cousin Brucey from 101.1?
Yeah, you know 101.1? Yeah.
WCBS
Look,
FM?
us old school DJs, we got to stick together, you know?
So,
I imagine it's some sort of like room with no lights, and you people just know each other by voice.
That's exactly correct.
Also, you people?
Yeah.
That's exactly correct, Michael.
Those with a face for radio.
No,
yes.
That's true.
As
I've been
told that a
Look,
lot.
I can't even tell you what Imus looks like. I just know here he's got a gizzard. I've never seen his face. I only know what he sounds like.
You are lucky because there are some people who do know. And
we don't want to facilitate that because that's
when I find people who
I hear
know what
he
he
wears a
looks like,
cowboy hat too. I do that sometimes.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about your bedroom habits. When I find somebody who knows what Imus looks like, I just keep walking until I find someone who doesn't.
Yeah, which is easy here.
Guys, do you need me for anything else, or do you?
No, well, do you have questions for Little Steven?
No, I just figured that you might ask Little Steven something about music.
I brought Little Steven here for a reason because he just reissued his 1983 classic record, Voice of America.
You're much more familiar with this record than either Jeremy or I, so I figure you might have some questions for Little Steven about the record.
Yeah, what? Especially, I mean, it's a record about America. It looks like so. That's a
that's the thing, Steven. I just wanted to. It's Little Steven. Steven, what I wanted to ask you about the record. Sorry.
I was wondering, Lil Steven, do you think that Danny took any of his inspiration of his character from Little Pete from your character, Little Steven?
I mean, I guess there could be some crossover there for sure.
Okay.
I mean, there's like a little bit of Italian. He's got he's got this, he's a short bravado, he's a short guy. He's got.
Are you talking about the Napoleon complex? He's
Where's a small guy? We don't talk about the Napoleon complex.
How tall are you?
That's true. Lil Steven, I hate that comment every single time I get that Napoleon thing. It just because he's I know he's got a tiny.
He's
little
Italian.
Penis.
He's Italian.
Hey, no, Napoleon's got a tiny little penis and it's hidden and it's unboxed and it's in the museum.
Where? Which museum?
I heard about that. You can't see it.
Wow.
It's not a solid box. The box is transparent.
No, it's a wooden box, but it's inside.
There's a hinge. It opens.
Yeah. You can see it if you open it.
Laying on velvet.
It wasn't.
I would say purple, but black is always
one of those things. You just like, who needs to see Napoleon's dick?
Joseph.
Look, he did all this conquering.
Josephine, obviously.
Also, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He would like to see that.
What is he?
I don't know why.
He's rich enough. He could probably just buy it.
That
Exactly.
That guy with his hit record stuff really
Have you ever
pisses
done-
me
yeah.
off.
Speaking of
Little Steven hates that shit. I don't know why I talk to myself in third person. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean,
I was going to say, Dan, I remember your New Jersey connection to Little Steven really resonated the last time we were here.
On The Sopranos, yeah. I mean, you know,
Right.
The Sopranos was a show that I could watch and be like, hey, I've been to that deli before. That's not
Right.
the name of it. That's
saying,
movie magic.
Given the intensive meat grilling nature of this holiday, do you think that Little Steven and Little Pete might have a connection at the pork store on a 4th of July such as this?
Yeah, I think so. I think Little Pete and Little Steven could hang out. I do agree also, Steve.
okay. Well,
It's Little Steven. Please stop calling me Steve.
You know, I think Big Steven, if there is
That's
one.
my father, Big
Yes.
Steven.
I figure he and I might get along a little bit better, but
Right.
it's great to see you two.
he just hated all my flair, you know?
Well, you
Big
should.
Steven was upset because I couldn't just have one bandana on.
Right.
I couldn't just have one necklace or one bracelet or like 3 rings.
Yeah, you had the
know?
Steven Tyler disease. Everybody gets it.
It's Steven Tyler disease.
the
That's
Steven
very
Nixon,
funny,
yeah.
Michael. You know, I did that before Steven Tyler. Let me tell you that.
Well, are you from Boston?
No.
Well, at least you got that going for you. But you're from New
Bop,
Jersey.
bop, 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 ba, da. I love that dirty water.
Okay.
Bum,
Is that
bum,
on the-
bum.
I mean,
Hey,
is that
part
on
of
the
the thing-
record?
Boston,
Yeah, you
you're
brought
my
a-
home.
you brought a record that I
Hey,
guess you're
that's just,
reissuing.
no, that's just, I play that song all the time on my Little Steven's
That's not on the
Underground
record,
Garage.
is what you're
No,
saying.
no,
Okay.
that's not my song, no.
I mean, is there some of this that you want to maybe
Talk about
preview?
maybe,
Wanna talk
or-
about the
Or Danny, did you
Yeah.
have some favorite tracks you maybe want to interview
Oh, yeah,
Little
yeah,
Steven
yeah.
about?
Little Steven, do you think you could give us a little rundown on Checkpoint Charlie? I think it's track 3 on the record. We'll just play a little bit of it.
Yeah, it seems like a sort of a Cold War
Yeah,
influence.
well, it's in 1983, you know,
All right, okay.
and I wrote it in 82.
Turn the volume up for
Right.
The
Gramps.
wall hadn't
Gramps
come
over
down.
here. Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
no, the wall wasn't down yet.
Let's hear
All
it.
right. So anything else you want to set it up with?
No,
Let's
just
just play it.
just play a little bit of it. We'll talk about it. You can get right to the meat and potatoes. There's like a little guitar thing here and some drums. I mean, you know what I mean? This feels like you're at Checkpoint Charlie.
Don't come around here no more.
Hey,
Whoa.
don't do that.
There's
Don't do
shots
that. That's
fired.
not nice.
Whatever you're looking for. Yeah, it's pretty much.
Should I skip
mean-
ahead or?
You ripped
Hey,
off.
you can skip ahead a
You
little
ripped.
bit. Yeah,
you
yeah,
ripped
yeah.
off Tom Petty. You piece of garbage.
No, that's Who's Gonna Walk You Home Tonight.
Okay.
You know? Hey,
Wow.
who's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
drive you home?
Who did the
You
chimes?
sing- That guy took my song.
Yeah. Who did the wind chimes in the back though?
I did everything on this record. I played the drums, I played
Wow.
the guitars, I played the synthesizers.
You're a real Billy Corgan.
I did everything. If you look at the bottom of the record, it says written, arranged, produced, guitars, Little Steven.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this one.
Okay, if you look in even
Okay.
finer print below that, it says disavowed by the Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it really kind of hits home with what was going on at the time. That's why I kind of re-released this record, you know. I have a song on there called I Am a Patriot.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. That's,
yeah, and Voice of America. The first song on the
Right.
record is like a very strong one.
Right.
Very strong.
And what when you were writing it, what was the
What were you thinking
what was your mindset? Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about the Voice of America, you know, in 1982. You know, it's before Bush and Reagan, you know. It was a serious time.
Bush and Reagan were both in office at that time, Little Steven. I don't know if you remember.
No, but they were, you know, they wasn't running together yet.
Yeah. They were running at the same time.
No, I don't think that. No, there wasn't. They had.
I don't remember that.
It was
yeah.
84. It was 1984.
Yeah, but in actually, George Bush was already his vice president.
Yes, I am saying. Yes, I get that, but I'm saying trying to.
So you're talking
I'm just
about.
saying, you know, it's just a lot of corruption, a lot of stuff going on.
So that was
It's
your-
just my Voice of America was me telling everybody, look at me. Check out these drums with no phases or anything. They sound really dead, like society and stuff.
So
Here it comes.
So
Here it comes.
people were the drums, right?
Yeah. You know, like punk rock was really big at the time.
Okay,
so
hold
I
on.
decided.
Let's see.
Dun, dun, dun. See what I mean? Dun, dun, Reagan.
Oh, that's based
Yeah, that was me singing Reagan.
Okay.
Wow, I think I found it. I found a record worse than Billy Joel's "The Bridge."
Wow, what do you
Whoa,
feel about
hey,
that?
excuse me,
Danny,
Michael, I'm right
you might
here.
want to sit in between.
I'm going to sit in between. I'm sorry I wasn't jumping in. I'm just trying to listen to Lil Steven speak about it.
No, it
the
really
whole
is.
process of it's very. You guys don't
Creating
know.
art.
I mean, Jeremy knows a little bit because he's a musician too. But
No, it
like,
creates a mood, and the mood is I want to drown myself. And thank you.
That's really nice.
Thank you, Lil Steven.
Please.
Wow.
Oh, maybe I Am a Patriot will change your mind. How about that?
Okay. Mine's open.
This record,
Let's do it. Let's do
this
it.
is the if you play this album full front to back at your 4th of July party,
You will become a mass shooter. We know. Just stop, okay?
I don't think that's true.
So the parentheses on
Okay,
this
I'm
track
listening. Yeah. Go ahead, Jeremy.
after I Am a Patriot is, and the river opens for the righteous.
Okay, so
See, no, this is me putting a little bit of reggae spin on it. See?
So
Oh,
you stole. Okay, so you stole some government weed, and you flew the plane to Jamaica, and you,
Michael,
you
please.
can never
just
come
let me
back
speak
home.
for 1 second.
You can
Could
never come back home.
Could you just...
I'm listening.
Just let me speak for
I'm
a
listening,
second,
little Steven. Go ahead.
Look, it's 1983, okay?
well, it's not.
It was
No,
no.
I'm saying when I made this record, it was 1983.
Actually, it was before that. It was before Reagan and Bush. You know.
I'm saying it was before Reagan Bush, 84.
But they were
when
still
on
friends.
They were still friends and stuff. That's fine. But look, let me just
Already in office
let
together.
me just tell you something, okay, Michael?
Okay.
Please. 1983, the Clash had just broken up. The biggest band you never heard of. You know that?
The Aristocrats.
No, that was the Clash. That was the Clash.
Oh, because I heard of them.
yeah,
I thought.
Yeah,
it was,
but
I,
that's the whole thing.
So the
Look,
world
look,
But I
was
thought,
changing.
but I thought
So
it was.
what I'm saying is,
I thought
what
it
I'm
was-
saying to you is the
Chad,
first.
correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy, but I think he was referring to a band I had never heard of, but I had heard of the Clash. So.
Everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
even at
It's the
that
biggest
point, I
little
feel
band
like-
in the world.
Anyway, go ahead.
Clash was the biggest little band in the world.
They were the
had to
biggest.
go and
They were the biggest
and
band in the
screw it
world,
up.
just like your Steven.
they kind of screwed it up a little bit. But what I was trying to get at is the beginning of this record is this punk rock, you
Yeah.
know, and then I Am a Patriot. It's Voice of America. Then I Am a Patriot. It's
then
reggae.
drown yourself in the ocean. Yeah, I
No, but
remember
look, hey, how many Clash songs are there that are rock and reggae and they mix them together? Some band called Sublime tried to do it. They did a good job doing it.
None of them suck like this album. You're right, little
Whoa. So you're. I was going to ask if you
Michael,
wanted to
tell me
maybe-
what it is you don't like about this music.
It's made by you, A. B.
Wow, it's harsh.
B.
Did that mean you hate all Bruce Springsteen songs?
No, but it's a strike in the no column.
Just because Nils Lofgren did most of the guitar solos doesn't mean that I'm not a good.
I don't know how to finish that sentence.
Did you just break this record?
I didn't break it. I
it-
did drop it out of the album.
in
though.
that it was easy to surpass, yes, he broke the
Still
record.
in one piece. You're okay.
Because here's the thing. That's an ancient relic.
I was wondering who you thanked.
But you're reissuing it.
I'm
yes,
checking.
I'm reissuing it, but you know what? I can't put Picasso on the back of it because I'll get sued.
I'm checking the album notes here, Lil Steven, and it says you thank my family, my friends,
Yes,
Scott the
yes.
engineer,
Scott
Scott
the engineer
Baio
was
as well.
Bruce,
Scott
Scott
Baio.
Baio. It says for some reason you thank Bill Cosby.
Well, why?
You're thanking Roseanne Barr.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. There's a couple guys in
You're
there.
thanking.
that-
Okay, no. There's some finer print here. You're thanking Harvey
It's William
Weinstein.
Cosby. And no, it's not hot.
You're thanking House member Dennis Hastert.
Oh, my God.
And then you
Future
also,
House member.
for some reason, oh no, he was probably low level at that point.
Oh, okay.
in 83.
Guys, can you just lay off a little, Steven? A little bit?
I don't know.
Like,
I'm
you're-
just a little-
Mike, you're ripping in.
I like him, but I'm just reading what the album says here. I think maybe
Yeah,
if he
but you know,
reissues it, he might want to not
Right.
thank all
Yeah,
these
well,
people.
I told
oh,
you.
the thank yous go even further. Robert Mapplethorpe, he thanks.
Oh
That's
my
a good one.
God.
That's good, actually. But
Woody Allen, I think,
yeah,
was
he
there.
thanks Woody Allen as an
Hey,
inspiration.
just because look, in 1983 there wasn't pledge.com or Kickstarter
Okay.
or anything like that.
so how do people polish their
That's what
furniture?
I'm saying. When I had to ask people for money orders to get my CDs and my records and my cassette tapes
Until
made.
you created Columbia Music House.
16 cassettes to CDs for a dollar
the price
of
is pretty
one.
good.
I'm still a member.
Are you?
Yeah, I still have my card.
How many times have you changed your name to?
Just the once. I just
My
took the
parents
L
got
out.
so mad at me for doing that.
Yeah, the BMG.
Oh
or
my
the,
God. 'Cause it was just so easy to be like, yeah,
yeah.
It
sure.
was a gateway drug.
It was a super gateway drug to like learning how to just And then the best part was yelling at them that you didn't get the CD when you did get it.
Oh, you never got it in the mail?
No, it never came. What do you mean? No, I'm not
Oh, yeah.
paying for it.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for that.
Lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have paid for certified.
You know, that happened to me a couple times.
Oh,
with
you
the,
subscribed?
Did it
Yeah,
happen, little Steven? I
yeah.
figured as a music industry insider, you wouldn't be going for all that CD
Yeah,
stuff.
no, look,
Was it a
I
cheap way to get
have
your
my
own
fair
stuff,
share
or-
of, CDs and tapes with the little, guts in it with the little line or they put the hole through the UPC.
Demos.
The UPC
Demos.
code.
He's talking about demos.
Yeah. Everybody's got demos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like is that how you got all the copies of your albums to sell? Is you just
Actually, I
DMG
did, yeah,
them?
because nobody bought them. So everyone just turned out to be
You got them back
a
for
promo.
free.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happens. You buy them back at a cheap rate, and then you can just sell them to the,
In
used
theory,
record stores.
Yeah,
and
you would
stuff.
sell them, but
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it myself. I'd have my buddy Johnny come in and do that for me.
That makes sense because otherwise it'd be pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, it would be kind of. It's almost the same way as like Dan Aykroyd coming in there and selling his Crystal Skull vodka, going into his.
No, that makes sense. It's an ongoing concern.
It's kind of every time
He's not selling used vodka
but
to the
here's
guys in
thing.
Greenpoint.
Every once a month, Dan Aykroyd comes into my liquor store
And I
he's
get an
like, hey,
autograph
it's a
on
Crystal
something.
Skull, and I'm like, yeah,
Right.
I know it's Crystal Skull, Dan, and no, I can't have you playing piano on the next Bruce album. He asks me every time.
What, really?
He asks me every time.
That's okay. I mean, what else are people going to talk to you about?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I try not to listen anymore.
Did you reissue
Particularly
this?
after this podcast I'm doing. It's terrible.
You've been a great and resilient guest.
I'm
and
just trying to
I
show
think
you
Danny-
that this is the 4th of July.
I think Danny's going to get to invite a lot more guests on after this.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, right now. I mean, Nils Lofgren, he's a friend of mine. We play in a band together, Bruce's band. I'll tell him you can't come on.
I never heard of him. Is he ethnic?
Oh my God.
Is he from here? He sounds like an.
I don't know who you're referencing.
You don't know who Nils Lofgren? He just only the greatest guitar player other than me that's in Bruce Springsteen's band.
Oh, I always like.
So how many guitar players are there? in
Clarence
Bruce?
Clemens, he's dead.
I know.
Yeah, he just passed
He
away.
died.
Yeah.
He died.
How many?
Hey,
how many
little
guitar
Steven,
players?
you want to know something funny? Yeah, no, it's not funny. Well, it's not funny, or it is. It's not funny. But our wardrobe lady dated Clarence Clemens. Ileana, do you remember
wow.
her?
On Pete and
Do you
Pete.
remember
She was a
Ileana?
prop.
She was a huge props. Right?
Props. Okay.
She was a
Hoops.
She was a very tall.
Ileana's
very
nickname
tall
was
woman.
Hoops.
That's right.
She's from Ukraine.
And she went to a Bruce Springsteen show, and Clarence Clemens took a liking to. I remember her. No, you should. She was
Yeah,
a
she's
really nice lady,
Head
Ileana.
head and shoulders above the crowd.
Wow.
Oh boy,
Well, maybe one of these days we'll get the Ghost of Clarence on. That would be a good.
jeez,
No,
too soon,
brought
man.
down the room. How
In
about
10th Avenue Freeze Out, he talks about, the band got better when the big man joined the band.
Oh,
And when they were talking about
Oh,
that,
yeah.
And the
it's not-
big man
They-
joined the band.
they meant Joey Chestnut.
Fuck Joey Chestnut. Yeah, I say fuck Joey Chestnut too.
Oh,
This is
okay.
finally something we can all agree
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you.
all agree on that, and let's end on a good note
Thank
like
you,
that.
little Steven.
Thank you so
On-
much for letting me plug the new reissue of my album, which is actually me buying back all of the record copies that never got
and reselling them
and
used.
reselling them used. But
Officially,
I
that
don't
is
do it.
reissued.
I don't do it myself like Dan Aykroyd.
You said
I have
your boy
somebody else
Johnny.
do it for me. Yes, yes.
any other shout outs you want to give out before we
Make
wrap
sure you
this up?
tune in to Little Steven's Underground Garage every
Oh.
Sunday from
there you
10
go.
to midnight.
It's from 8 a.m. to midnight. It's actually
10
all day.
p.m. to midnight, actually.
Wow.
And, I go in and I just have these great stories.
Little
and,
Steven with the Steven spelled out.
That's
right.
it. Little Steven with the PH spelled out.
What?
Without a
don't know.
PH, no, it's a V.
It's
Come
a
on,
V.
guys.
It's a V. Come on,
You
it's a
think
V.
I would be a Steven with a PH? Come on, you guys.
You made me
you're a
laugh.
bit of
You
sick.
guys are
It's
fucking
already
stupid.
better than
There
the
you
last
go.
one. Yeah.
Thanks,
that-
Little
All right, thank
Steven.
you, Little Steven.
Thanks, Little Steven. Before we go, I just want to say we're part of the Last Podcast Network. Check them out, lastpodcastnetwork.com, for tons of other great shows. This guy on my right here is Michael C. Marone. You can find him at Michael C. Marona
Thank you for
on the
having me.
interwebs. His partner to the right there, partner I'll use loosely, friend, lover, at Danny Tamborelli. It's at D Tamborelli on the twits, at Danny Tamborelli on the insts. And I am Remy Balin most everywhere. Also have another podcast called Fresh Beef. Check that out. And I figured Little Steven's running out, but maybe we could just go out on
Play him
one of
out.
his last
Play him out,
songs.
boys.
Oh yeah, guys, just play me out with the. This song is great. It's the last song on the album. It's called "Undefeated" because I'm always undefeated.
It was about the
I'm the
72.
undisputed, undefeated champion.
About the
just
72 Dolphins.
just like the 72 Dolphins. That's right.
Yeah, I could
Thanks so much for
definitely-
listening. We'll see you on the next one.
I could see
Thanks,
this
Lil Steve.
going under a training montage somewhere. Yeah, this is training.
Undefeated.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. No, they cut that out when I made the record.
This is your version, right?
My record, my version, the producer. I know I produced it, but the assistant producer. Here comes. So precious, baby.
The parentheses on this one is everyone goes home.
Eventually,
Undefeated.
Yeah. I don't know
Everyone
anybody who
goes
doesn't
home.
go. Little Steven, I think you should go home now, and we'll listen to the rest of the album. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for taking care of my albums.
All right.
We
Check them out. The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Baylor. This podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at lastpodcastnetwork.com. Make sure to check that out for a ton of great shows. For more information on the guys, visit our website at dannyandmike.com. Also look us up on Twitter at Danny and Mike with the N spelled out, and on Facebook at facebook.com/The Adventures of Danny and Mike. Thanks for listening.
So glad that douchebag Lil Steven left. God, that guy was such a
Yeah, I know.
nosebleed.
Sorry,
man.
guys.
We should have him back, but definitely like give him rules and parameters about what he can talk.
Yeah, that was weird.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. So you just asked me.
It's
for
cool,
a
Dan.
favor.
No. I mean, you know, you've given us some good guests in the past. You know, everybody's due a fucking raspberry once in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Thank you,
saying?
guys. Yeah.
Anyway, paper towel on.